Hello from Theodore Roosevelt National Park. My name is Ranger Jenna, and I'm an education ranger for the National Park Service. My job is to teach people about the national parks. Right now, I'm standing in the North Unit at Riverbend Overlook, one of my favorite views in the park. From this view, we can see a piece of every resource that is important to Theodore Roosevelt National Park, like the Little Missouri River, the Badlands landscape, and if you look really closely, you might be able to see a little bit of wildlife. These are just a few examples of the notable features we have here. But what do I mean by resources? Well, if you've ever been to a national park before, you've probably seen this symbol. Park rangers refer to it as the arrowhead, and every piece of the arrowhead represents the different natural and historical resources that we work hard to protect at every national park and monument. Let's take a closer look. In the foreground of the symbol is a bison. We do have bison at Theodore Roosevelt National Park. However, we don't only protect the bison. This bison is a symbol for all of the animals and wildlife in the park, like the prairie dogs, pronghorn, and bighorn sheep. Just behind the bison is a sequoia tree. This sequoia tree represents every plant. We do not have sequoia trees at Theodore Roosevelt National Park, but we do have other really important plants, which we protect, like grasses, wildflowers, and cottonwood trees. Behind the trees is a big mountain, which represents all landscapes and terrain in the national parks. Theodore Roosevelt National Park is located in the Badlands, which is a very unique land resource that can change very quickly. The Badlands are made up of layers of sediment that have been cut into by water and glaciers to form hilly features called buttes that are typically topped with prairies. In front of the mountain and a few pine trees is this little tiny symbol of a lake, which represents all bodies of water and air. The national parks want to keep all water and air clean so that all the animals and people have fresh water and air to enjoy. At Theodore Roosevelt National Park, we protect the Little Missouri River, which runs through the whole park. Finally, encompassing all of the other symbols, we have the arrowhead. The entire shape of the National Park Service emblem is an arrowhead, which represents all the human and cultural history preserved within the natural lands. Theodore Roosevelt National Park holds a very important historical record from Native American land and resource usage to the history of early ranchers, and even Theodore Roosevelt's personal history, including the reason the national lands exist. Theodore Roosevelt National Park was established in 1978 by President Harry Truman and is the only national park to be named for a person, which is a great way to thank Roosevelt for his idea to protect the public lands. While Roosevelt was living in North Dakota, he saw that the animals were being overhunted and the land was starting to look overused, and felt that these resources were important to protect. While he was president, Roosevelt advocated for conservation and established over 230 million acres of protected lands across the United States. Because of this, we now have national parks and national forests. While you are visiting Theodore Roosevelt National Park, I encourage you to look for these resources and appreciate their importance to our park. To safely explore the park, make sure you plan ahead. Know where you're going, how long you'll be there, and what you need to bring with you. And most importantly, let someone else know your plan. Always remember to wear closed-toed shoes, pack a lot of water, and wear sun protection since there is not very much shade at the park. If you plan to eat lunch at the park, remember to pack foods that can be cleaned up easily and don't drop too many crumbs. It's very important to leave no trace to protect the wildlife in the park from eating foods that are unnatural to their environment. It is always important to remember to be respectful of nature, each other, including other park visitors, and yourself. The national parks are public lands, which means they belong to every one of us. So please do your part and protect our public lands. Thank you for joining me in learning about taking care of our public lands and resources. Now it's time to get ready to explore and enjoy your visit. We'll see you soon at Theodore Roosevelt National Park.